Know what must be running through your mind? You're like, I got to do a whole nother packet of these. Oh, but you're not going to have to do the whole problem. Here's what I want done on this. All I want you to do is look at the equation and decide which way you graph it. And here's what I want you to put. So listen, because I don't need you to graph over here, okay? So you see this equation here, y equals 3x minus 7. So look at where the y is at and look at where the x is at. They're on opposite sides, okay? So all you need to do is write slope and y-intercept, and then put what the slope and y-intercept are. So slope's 3, that needs to be 1, and then negative 7. Okay, that's all I need you to do. Okay, then now the next problem, here's the x, here's the y. Look at them. Here's my equals. They're on the same side now. So if they're on the same side, I need you to set up that table with 0 and 0 and then stop. Don't do anything else, okay? I don't need you to find what numbers go here. It's when you write it out twice, scribble it out, and divide, but I don't need you doing that. I just need you to know how to set it up. Okay, the next problem. We only have y, okay? There is no x at all, so make a table. And since we only have y is going to be 6. So put 3 6s under your y. And then since there's no x, that's just going to be 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And that's all I need you to do. Okay, next one. We have x and we have y. Again, they're on the same side. So I have both variables on the same side. So we're going to set up this double zero chart. Okay? Okay, the next one, here's the equals, here's y, here's x. They're on opposite sides. So since they're on opposite sides, we're going to use slope and y-intercept. Okay, so the slope is negative 4 over 1, and then the y-intercept's 3. Don't do anything else. Okay, here's x, here's y. They're on the same side, so we set up our table with the double zeros. Okay, then the next one, there's only an x, so we only have an x, there is no y at all, okay? So since I only have x is going to be negative 4 3 times. And then y is not in the problem, so it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Don't need to graph it, just set it up. Okay, the next one, here's y, here's x. Now they're on opposite sides, so if they're on opposite sides, we go with slope and y-intercept. And we're using that, just put what they are. Slope would be negative 1 over positive 3, and then 5. Okay. Pause the video and do that on your own, and then you're going to come back and just do the other pack along with me. Okay, now here's what your test would look like, okay, on Friday, this Friday. Okay, it says, what is the slope and y-intercept of the following equation? So as you can see, y(x), so I'm going to know the slope right away is 7, put a 1 under it. And the y-intercept is going to be negative 4. Okay, what are the x and y-intercepts of the following equations? Well, that's when we have the 0 and the 0. So what we need to do is copy that down twice. So 7x plus negative 6y equals negative 84. And then down here, 7x plus negative 6y equals negative 84. Okay, so if the y is 0, we can eliminate the y term from the equation. So I put a dot and then divide. So negative 84 divided by 7 gives me negative 12. And then if the x is 0, you can take out 7x, don't need it, put a dot, and then divide. by negative 6. So negative 84 divided by negative 6 is 14. Okay? So that's all you're doing right there. Now number 3, tell whether x as negative 2, it always goes x, y, is on, tell whether negative 2, 4 is a part of this line, 2x minus 3y equals negative 16. This is pretty easy. All you need to do is parenthesize your x, and over the top you can put negative 2 for it, okay? Because x is then replaced with negative 2. Now, parenthesize your y and put a 4 on top of that. Now, I need to go to my calculator to see if that math is going to equal negative 16. Okay, I got to get a good calculator here. So we have 2, and then we will be putting negative 2 in for x, minus 3, and then we're going to put a parentheses with a 4 in for the y. And that is what it says, negative 16. So I got the same number, so that means yes. Okay, the answer is yes. Okay, so that's first 3. Now, the next part is the graphing part. So, graph the line with a slope of 4/5 and a y-intercept of negative 3. So, what this means is we'll go straight down 3, and then we'll go up 4, right 5. Anytime I'm graphing with numbers, I want to know what direction they are. So I go down 1, 2, 3. And then from that point, I count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just get it close. Okay? And that's all she wrote on that problem. You just have to need to know how to take a y-intercept and a slope and then graph, make a line out of it. Okay, graph the line x-intercept of 6, y-intercept of negative 2. Now, when they're talking x-intercept, y-intercept, that's when we want to make this chart with the double zeros. So the y, so the y-intercept's negative 2, and the x-intercept's 6. Now, before I graph, I need to know what direction I'm going, okay? So x is left or right, so 0 means stay, and then 6 would be to the right. And then the y is up or down, so the 2's negative, so down, and then that's just stay. So I stay at 0 and go down 1, 2. And then I move back to the middle, I go right 6, and then I stay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that's how you graph a line using the x and the y intercept. Okay. So when they start talking about those, that's what you're going to do. Okay, now you have to take equations and then graph them. So this is just what we went over on that other thing first, knowing which way to set it up. So here's y, here's x. They again are on opposite sides. So if the y and the x are on opposite sides, we want to do our slope and the y-intercept. So the slope is 3 over 4, and the y-intercept is negative 3. Okay, so y-intercept negative 3, I go down 3. And then from that point, I'll go up 3 and right 4. So I'll make this point first, and then from this point, that's what I'll do. So 1, 2, 3. Then up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there it is. Okay, the next problem, graph the equation negative 2x minus 3y equals 18. So there's my equals. This time the x and the y are on the same side. So if they're on the same side, we want to set up the double zero table. Okay. Now to actually find these numbers, we need to write this out twice. So negative 2x, make that plus negative 3, plus negative 3y equals 18, and then negative 2x plus negative 3y equals 18. So if my x is 0, we can get rid of the x and then divide by negative 3. So 18 divided by negative 3 is negative 6. Now if the y is 0, we can eliminate negative 3y. Don't need that there because I'm just taking negative 3 times 0. And then divide both sides by negative 2. And 18 divided by negative 2 is negative 9. Okay, so if they're on the same side, that's how to handle it. Okay, so we want to put arrows. X is left or right, so stay, and that's going to the left. Then the y is up or down, so that's down and stay. So I stay and go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I go left 9 and stay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now what do we have here? Well, here's the equals. We only have x, so we only have x. We do not have y. So if we only have x, x is going to be the same number. It's always going to be 5. And then since I have no y, it's just 1, 2, and 3. Now to graph it, x is left or right. So positive right, positive right, positive right. And then the y is up or down. So positive up, positive up, positive up. So I go right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 1. 5, 2, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 2. And then 5, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice straight line. Okay, y equals negative 2. Now pay attention to where the letters, there's only a y. There is no x at all. Okay. So if we only have y, I want to put the negative 2 under the y 3 separate times. And no x means x. Let's just put 1, 2, 3. It's easy that way. So x is right or left. That's positive. So right, positive means right. Now up or down. Negative means down, negative means down, negative means down. Okay, so I go right 1, down 2. I go right 2, down 2. Go right 3, down 2. Okay, then a story problem, what we have here. I screwed this up. You need to help me out. This should be here for you on subsequent assignments. You need to circle month and put X, and then circle a $sign and put Y. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. I want to do that for you. I didn't do it. Okay, so domain and range. What we want to do is have X and Y table, and the X is going to be our months, and the Y is going to be our money. So at 0 months, we start off with $500. Now, so I screwed up another time. I need to put a down arrow because we're spending the money, okay? I will do this for you, and I will do that arrow for you, okay? The rest of it you'll have to do. So after 1 month, the rate of change is $100. So I need to minus 100 from 500. That's 400. Then 300, 200. After month 4, I'm at 100. Now after month 5, I'm at 0. Okay? So the smallest X number I have in this group is 0. The largest X value is 5. The smallest Y value in this group is 0. The largest Y value is 500. So I will put the arrow whether to go up or down because that tells you if you have to add or subtract. And I'll also name the variables.